Hello everyone, you're welcome to this tutorial session on Maths with Ella. Today we are looking at polynomials and we are going to be solving the June 2024 advanced level GCE question that came on polynomials. That was question 2 and the question reads, the polynomial f of x where f of x is equal to ax cubed minus x squared plus bs equals c has a factor x plus 2. F of x leaves the remainder 10 when divided by x plus 1. Find a, the values of the constants a and b, and b, the values of x for which f of x is equal to 0. So let us solve this GCE question. Solution, we've been given f of x as ax cubed minus x squared plus bx plus 6. So the first thing here is that x plus 2 is a factor. X plus 2 is a factor. A factor implies f of negative 2 is equal to 0. Where do we obtain negative 2? Of course, from this factor. If x plus 2 is a factor, means x is equal to negative 2. That is, just equate this factor to 0 and get the value of x, and that is going to give us negative 2. So when the question says x plus 2 is a factor, it means f of negative 2 is equal to 0. So let us substitute negative 2 into the equation f of x. So f of negative 2 will be, you go into the equation anywhere you see x, you replace it with negative 2. So we are going to have a negative 2 cubed minus negative 2 squared plus b into negative 2 plus 6, and this should be equal to 0. Why? Because x plus 2 is a factor of f of x. So simplifying this, we are going to have negative 8a minus 4 minus 2b plus 6 equal to 0. This is going to give us negative 8a minus 2b plus 2 equals 0. So this is negative 8a minus 2b is equal to negative 2, and 2 is a common factor, so we can simplify that. We are going to have negative 2 is a common factor, so we can simplify that, and we have 4a plus b is equal to 1. So let's label this equation 1. So we've used the first condition there, which is x plus 2 being a factor, to obtain equation 1. Now we use the next condition, which is f of x leaves a remainder of 10 when divided by x plus 1. We're going to use that condition to get another linear equation. So the next factor we have there is x plus 1. So we have x plus 1 equals 0, implying that x is equal to negative 1. And we have that f of negative 1 leaves a remainder of 10. So f of negative 1 is going to give us 10. That is f of negative 1, which is, you go into the equation f of x still and you replace x this time around with negative 1. So we are going to have a into negative 1 cubed minus negative 1 squared plus b into negative 1 plus 6 is equal to 10. Equal to 10 because f of x leaves a remainder of 10 when divided by x plus 1. Again, we simplify this. We are going to obtain negative a minus 1 minus b plus 6 is equal to 10. So this will give us negative a minus b is equal to 10. Negative 1 plus 6, that gives us 5. Positive 5, when you cross it becomes negative 5, giving us a plus b being equal to negative 5, because 10 minus 5 is 5, and then divide all through by a negative 1, you're going to have a plus b equal to negative 5, and we're going to call this equation 2. So now we have two equations. with two unknowns. So we have a pair of simultaneous equations which we're going to solve for A and B. So solving these simultaneous equations A and B, solving the simultaneous equations 1 and 2 for A and B, we obtain 4A plus B is equal to 1. And our next equation there is A plus B equal negative 5. Of course, you can solve using any of the methods that you're comfortable with. We have the elimination method, the substitution method, the graphical method, the matrix method. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the elimination method. So I'm going to eliminate B first, because just looking at these two equations is easy to eliminate B by subtracting equation 2 from equation 1. So 4A minus A will give us 3A, B minus B will give us 0, and 1 minus negative 5 will give us 6. So 3A equals 6, implying A is equal to 2. Now, using this value of A, we are going to obtain the value for B, so we can substitute A equal 2 into equation 2. We are going to have, so this is 2 plus B equal negative 5. We've substituted A with its value which we've obtained here, and that's going to give us B being equal to negative 5 minus 2, which is negative 7. So we have the values for A and B as A equal 2 and B equal negative 7, and that ends the first part of the question, which says to find the values of the constants A and B. So we've had A 2 and B equal negative 7. Now we look at the second part of the question, which says to find the values of x for which f of x equals 0. So we want to solve B. We want to find the values of x for which f of x equals 0. We already have one of those values, means we need to find two more values. So we recall that f of x here, now using the values of a which we've obtained, f of x will now become, this will be 2x cubed, because we've replaced this a by the value of 2 which we've obtained in the first part of the question, minus x squared plus bx. B is negative 7, so we're going to have negative 7x, and then plus 6. So this is our function f of x with the values of a and b substituted into it, because we've gotten the values of a and b from the first part of the question, and now we can proceed to find all the values of x for which f of x is equal to 0. Again, we are going to use the factor that was given to reduce this equation into a quadratic equation. So since x plus 2 is a factor, we are going to factorize f of x completely, and we are going to do so using the long division method. Why are we doing so? In order to reduce the power of our function f of x from 3 to 2, so that we can simply factorize it. So we carry out long division. So the purpose of the long division, as I explained, is to reduce this equation to a quadratic. So this is 2x cubed minus x squared minus 7x plus 6, and x plus 2 is a factor, so we have x plus 2 here. Long division, 2x cubed divided by x, we are going to have 2x squared. Multiply, you have 2x cubed. This is plus 4x squared. 2x squared times 2 give us 4x squared. You subtract this minus this will give us 0. Negative x squared minus 4x squared, you have negative 5x squared. Now you bring down the remaining part of the function. You divide again, negative 5x squared divided by x, we are going to have negative 5x. Now you multiply negative 5x times x gives us negative 5x squared. Negative 5x times 2 gives us negative 10x. Again, we subtract this minus this gives us 0. Negative 7x minus negative 10x gives us 3x. Now you bring down the other part of the equation, that will be plus 6. You divide again. 3x divided by x, you're going to have positive 3. 3 times x, you have 3x. 3 times 2, you have 6. Again, you subtract 3x, goes off 3x. And 6 goes off with 6. So we are left with f of x, which has been reduced to x plus 2, which is its first factor, and then this quadratic 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Okay, so that's the first step. We are almost there. Now we just need to factorize this quadratic in order to get all the other values of x. So factorize f of x completely. F of x will be x plus 2. Factorizing this quadratic, we are looking for factors of positive 6, which when added will give us negative 5. Factors of positive 6, which when added will give us negative 5. We have negative 2 and negative 3. So we have 2x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 3. Because negative 2x minus 3x gives us negative 5x. And so we're going to have x plus 2. From these first two terms, you factor out 2x, so you are going to be left with x minus 1. And from here, you factor out negative 3. You're going to be left here with x minus 1. And that's going to give us x plus 2 into 2x minus 3 into x minus 1. And at this level, we've completely factorized f of x. So we're looking for the values of x for which f of x equals 0. So f of x equals 0 will imply that all of this equals 0. So we imply that x plus 2 into 2x minus 3 into x minus 1 equals 0. So in this case, either x plus 2 equals 0, implying x equal negative 2. This we already know because the question said that x plus 2 was a factor. Or 2x minus 3 equals 0, implying x equal to 3 on 2. Or x minus 1 equals 0, implying x is equal to positive 1. So these are the values of x for which f of x is equal to 0. That is it for this question, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you've understood. Please do share this content so that other people can benefit from it, and do consider following our page for more. Until I come your way again, remain blessed.